We Are the Stop Wearing My Clothes podcast. I'm Amy.
And I'm Kayla. One podcast, two sisters. This is episode 72, and we will be recapping the Golden Bachelor and Bachelor in Paradise, as well as talking about the Eras Tour movie with Taylor Swift, because Taylor Swift is currently my personality.
All right, let's do it.
I am coming to visit you in 2 weeks. Are you excited?
Yes, I very am. I was just looking at okay, T-minus 14 days. Exactly.
What are you most excited about for my presence? Don't you have to think that hard? Okay, well, what I'm excited about is Halloween. I'm going to be there for Halloween, which I've never spent Halloween with you guys. And it's more fun, because you have kids, and, that's where magic is.
I know, but I still have not figured out our costumes at all.
That's what we need to discuss, because I told you a great idea, and we could all be in Kanto and different characters. And Jack, your son, is very into that. He's already over it. He's over it?
You literally have about a week, and then they're over it.
Okay. One thing I was thinking about is I think I've already wanted to buy something like this, but this would also be an extra reason. So a Kansas City Chiefs merchandise, and it'll be oversized on me, so Marcus can wear it also, and we be Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift for Halloween.
Do you know how many people are going to do that?
Don't care. I'm going to do it too, and I'm going to do it better.
It's either going to be Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce or Barbie. That's going to be the costumes of the year.
Basically. I've thought about Barbie and Ken too with Marcus, of getting the Knuff sweatshirt for him, and then I have a cute I wore it for Palm Springs the year that Jack was there with the pink stripes. I have a picture in front of the house. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was thinking about maybe wearing that, but other than that, I don't have a lot of Barbie quality. I guess Barbie is very inclusive now.
Yeah, but Jared and me were Barbie and Ken last year, which is kind of funny.
Oh, really? See?
Yeah. We were Barbie and Ken, and then Olivia was Jessie, and Jack was Woody.
Well, the only other thing I was thinking of is, I don't know.
I know, what? We could all be crayons. That's stupid. I don't know why I said that.
That's stupid. Well, I kind of like it that if we all go together, but what could go with Travis and Taylor? What if the rest of you are her ex-boyfriends? I love that idea. Did you see Taylor Lautner? You know how the Eras Tour movie comes out in theaters? Uh-huh. Taylor Lautner went to it, and he was doing backflips in front of the screen.
That doesn't surprise me.
He's living his best life in Taylor's universe.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. And his wife is leaning in too. She does so many Taylor Swift videos.
I know it's a little odd, but at the same time, hopefully it's not.
Because she's going to show up to 13 theaters randomly.
Taylor Swift
weekend. Mm-hmm.
Probably all around where she's at, though, right? Where is she?
Yeah, she was just Thursday. She went to a third Kansas City Chief game with his mom. And I'm eating this up. I'm so invested in Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. I can't even describe it to you.
Did you hear Taylor Swift wasn't there for his birthday, but then he took a picture with a girl with blonde hair, and they're like, this blonde-haired girl is keeping him happy, though. Did you see that?
Vomit. People are so stupid.
It's literally a fan that walks up and asks for a picture, so he puts his arm around her and smiles and moves his arm. But the way someone took a picture was from this angle, so it's just his arm around a blonde girl. And they're like, oh, who's this mystery blonde making him happy on his birthday because Taylor Swift's not there? Or whatever. I'm like, you guys are so dumb, because people probably believe that.
That person has a very special place in hell for them. All the Taylor Swift haters just drive me up the wall, and just get over yourself. She is the moment. She is bigger than the NFL, whether some guys want to admit to it or not. Just look at the Instagram followers, numbers, data, analytics. And I will defend their relationship till the day I die. Unless Taylor Swift tells me not to, then I will destroy him. That's the power the Swifties have. The Swifties like Travis Kelce right now. So in that moment, it's a good situation. Yeah. Taylor Swift just gives me one lyric that makes me think otherwise. I will help her destroy him.
No, I know. We didn't talk about it last time. I think they had to take it off, but the NFL had in their Twitter, it said Taylor's version.
No, they're all unhinged. It's the funniest thing in the entire world.
Yeah, it's almost I don't love it though. Part of me doesn't. I do. Oh, see, part of me doesn't love it because it almost invalidates the entire relationship, in my opinion.
Interesting. See, I just think they're having fun with it. They're realizing the NFL is making money off Taylor Swift right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I think they're leaning into that. And literally, Taylor Swift she's dating a football player and going to his football games, just like anyone would do as a girlfriend going to their boyfriend's game.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like some big, like, thing. Just because she's Taylor Swift, that's that. But Travis Kelce he couldn't make it to the Eras Tour premiere at the Grove and sent her a $2,500 flower arrangement.
With a gushy note.
Yes, and I love how he talks about her, how he's on top of the world, how he said that at his press conference. And literally, my TikTok For You page is consumed by the Eras Tour Theater and all of the craziness that's happening, people out of their seats, people in circles. And I just saw one where someone brought a Travis Kelce cardboard cutout. And I am going to be at that theater today. Today it's 12:15 on, what is today?
Saturday, October 14th.
3 hours and 15 minutes. I will be at the Eras Tour Theater. And I am so excited. I'm going to kind of wear a dress down version of my Reputation. So like my snake pins and like a black dress. And I cannot wait. And I'm a little nervous because I was like, do I go up and dance with them? What if no one else is doing it? What if this is just like very select things that have taken over TikTok? What if I scream the chant, 1, 2, 3, let's go, bitch, but no one else does? Actually, like, full on getting anxiety.
I want to know, so is this going to be, so it's like, it's her show, but is it going to be like behind the scenes and stuff like that too?
I don't know.
I kind of hope it is, because that's what I've been kind of waiting for. I want to know, like, what she's feeling during all of this and all. I need to go see it.
Yeah, you have to. And I'm just actually as excited for the previews because Mean Girls the Musical is coming out in January, and the first trailer is from the Eras Tour.
No way.
And you know who's in it, right?
Yeah, the main chicks, right?
No, it's all new. So you know how they had Mean Girls, obviously, like the major hit movie.
Oh, I guess I just saw pictures recently though. There was like Lindsay Lohan, Amanda, well, all those people that they were like all going somewhere. So I thought maybe they were actually gonna be in the movie.
So people think that's gonna be like a little mini reunion for a Super Bowl commercial. And what this is, so after Mean Girls had their hit movie, they did Mean Girls the Musical, like a Broadway show that killed. And that's how Renee Rapp got really famous and got to the Sex Lives of College Girls. She's one of the main girls on that. And then now she is like a major singer. Her album Snow Angel, the one I told you about. So she played Regina George in the musical, and now the adapted Mean Girls musical version, she's Regina George.
Nice.
Just how she was the screen. And guess who's Sam?
I don't know.
Conrad from Summer I Turned Pretty. Pam from The Office is in it. It looks
that's gonna be good.
Dancing. It's a Mean Girls musical.
That's going to be good.
I have goosebumps. So I'm actually just excited to see that. It comes out in January. But the trailer is I'm going to see in a couple. I've seen bits and pieces of it I've seen a lot of the movie from TikTok, but I'm really trying to now to like skip those. But
what do you mean? How have you seen most of the movie? Oh, just the Taylor Swift movie.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Not Mean Girls. But I have seen.
How is it even out?
I've seen a chunk of the trailer also from people doing it. But one thing I am disappointed about is I was really excited. I would have bet my life on this. This is one of my theories. I had two theories. This is one of them. So now I am stuck with the single theory that could still happen. But at the very end of the movie, after the credits, I was waiting for the screen to go black. And then all of a sudden a giant snake comes out and snaps at you. And then just a Reputation date. And then it goes black again.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen.
I
haven't already seen it, but I would have known about it by now.
Why didn't she do that? What a moment.
That been like epic?
Yeah.
I saw another theory of like, okay, what, like just kind of these crazy things she hasn't done before, announcing re-releases or like a record in general. And one was, you know, the emergency alerts that you get on your text messages? Could you imagine? People would be real pissed that you think they're pissed about the NFL. They would be so angry.
Who would you have to ask permission for that? Would you have to ask the president?
I don't know. Biden.
He'd probably say
Taylor
yes.
Swift announced the Reputation. So yeah, I know we talk a lot about Taylor Swift on here, but we are big Swifties, and that's what you get when you get our podcast. Yes, we like The Bachelor, but we are Taylor Swift diehards, and that's just the way it's going to be, and you either need to support that or don't. Is that too much?
And if you don't, then
Just
You
skip to
could
the
just
bat.
skip to the Bachelor recaps because we still love you.
Yes, and speaking of, let's get to it. The Golden Bachelor week 3, and I think my threshold of how much I love Gary is like it's complete. It rises. And I love him so much. Let's get into the episode. And I think really the first section is that group date and then the Joan of it all.
Yes.
What did you think about the group date? Which was your favorite? It was a talent show. Caitlin Bristow showed up. What was your favorite talent?
I actually really liked, I think is it Paula? Is she the one that would dress? She kind of looks like Kris Jenner.
Oh, I'm so terrible at names other than a few of them, but I
Yeah.
know as Kris Jenner.
Yeah, so
What did Kris Jenner do?
she did the like karate chop the
That
board.
was
I just thought that was silly, and I kind of liked that one.
Yeah, I like Sandra's comedy with like the punchline, her big boobs. I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
But honestly, all of them were good. Like Leslie is such a good dancer. Oh my goodness. And I just felt though for Joan the entire time. So
That would be
she was
me.
terrified, like has stage fright. And I was like, oh, it's either gonna be like a redemption and she gets the day, or it's gonna be crash and burn. And I'm so happy to report of redemption. That
Yes.
poem?
Gary was like, I just felt like it was just me and her in the room. I was like,
It's the sweetest thing in the entire world. I also did like Ellen's of like teaching sex ed to middle schoolers.
yeah.
That was fun. Like there's very like fun, unique ones. I feel like even Nancy too, the one who was upset about the wedding dress last week.
Yeah.
She did one that I remember liking that it was really just like kind of weird and random. She just did the thing with whipped cream from her head for her thing. She like flipped her arm so she could catch it in her mouth. But yes, that poem was so cute, and I feel like Joan like snuck up on us. She ends up winning the talent show. She was the only one, at least that they showed, like super terrified.
Oh yeah.
If you had to do a talent show in that situation, like what do you think you would do?
I think that I would quit and go home.
What if he was like,
Truly,
what if he was a babe?
I truly think that every single time they have one of those dates, I'm like, why? Why would anyone stay and do this? This is terrible.
But I think it is an interesting way for like the lead to see like how you act in a very out of your comfort zone situation. And some people thrive in it like Leslie, and some people don't like Joan, but it's about your attitude towards it and if you are able to conquer it and like kind of how you look at life. I feel like you could tell a lot about a person putting them in that position.
So I'm a quitter,
I don't know what
I guess.
Says about you. I mean, I've kind of quit in life, so I mean, I shouldn't be saying anything, but.
So I think I would probably lean towards a poem because I don't know if you guys remember or know this, but I am a published author in 2 books of poetry.
You are
and
not.
I won a contest. Yeah, I am.
I did not know that.
Thanksgiving is in the fall. It is the best of all. That's where it started.
Sold.
Anthology of Poetry by Young Adults.
When we like market our podcast, we could stop wearing my clothes with the author best known for her poetry and like a published author. Like that could actually give us some like, oh, a published author has her own podcast. Okay. I had no I actually vaguely remember something like that, but like not to that like.
I mean, it was in 3rd grade, so.
I think it's still pretty good.
I'm a child prodigy. What can I say?
Pretty much. So you would have gone the Joan route. I don't know what do you think I would have done?
Twerked like you did in front of that. That's the only time I've seen you perform.
Oh, I did win a booty popping contest.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I would do. It's already tried and true. It's already given.
You would just go Leslie's route.
Yeah, I'd go Leslie, you'd go Joan. That shows the difference between us right there. What did you think of their date, her and Joan? Because Joan won, she got the date that night. Let me know what you thought.
I thought it was sweet. I mean, I don't have much to say about it. I just thought it was very sweet. They connected well.
I really like her, and they look really visually great together. Like
she's
match.
Really beautiful.
Yeah,
I mean, they all are though, but
yeah, they are. I thought there was a very distinct like. Gary basically telling her he was her favorite. He was just like, I've never felt this way before. Or something to that effect. So
I missed
At
that.
that point, I looked over at Marcus, my husband, and I was like, she was not on any of my bingo cards of being like top, but I'm like, from what I'm seeing, they have so much in common and it just like makes sense. And even like, spoiler alert, with the breakup very soon after, I even felt it even more. It was like heartbreaking. It was like
Mhm.
star-crossed lovers and they just missed each other and what
Yeah.
that relationship could have been.
Yeah, and, like, their focus on family, they obviously very much related to that because that's why Joan left was because her daughter just had a baby, which
Yeah. So next morning after her date, Joan has to leave.
mhm.
And I feel like it has to have been bad because I guess that, like, if it was my mom, Joan was my mom, I would like I'd only take her from that if it was like dire, especially
Yeah.
with how she was feeling. And she said, like, this is the only like selfish thing I've done, but like
Mhm.
it's being selfless again. And like
But if
it
what
just
if
made me sad.
it made me sad. I just like, if you had no support at home and you had a C-section and it sounded like other bad things happened during that, like,
Yeah.
you couldn't do anything. And then you have a newborn baby, and if you had no one to help you, I would cry to my mom too and say, "I don't care about love. Come save me."
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. It was just a tough situation all
For sure.
around, and just like Gary just does everything right. He reacted exactly how he should have.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, no surprise there. Love Joan. I'm very sad to see her go. I personally think she could be Bachelorette, the first Golden
I j
Bachelorette. I think
that
she's
just popped into
perfect.
my head. Yes.
I think
Totally.
it's perfectly set up for her.
Mhm.
So, I am pushing for that, and also she jumped on my For You page on TikTok the other day. She does, like,
Cook
cooking videos.
Oh,
She
she
made some
does?
chicken noodle soup. So, it was
Uh-huh.
cute, and Joan for Golden Bachelorette.
Yes, I am on board. I don't know how I didn't even think about that. I guess because it's so, like, seems early, but actually, they're dwindling down quick.
Yeah, they have less, women this time, and since it's only an hour, they're like it's like 2 or 3 at 3 at a time, I think, this
Mhm.
last rose ceremony. So, I mean, it's gonna be a quicker season. I
Which
feel
I
like we're
actually think that's kinda good.
Well, there's a petition online, I mean, not an official one, but like in memes of like, we want 2 hours of Golden Bachelor and 1 hour of Bachelor in Paradise. And that's how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
You?
Yeah, no, for sure. I meant more like, like, I think as an older generation and gentleman, like, I feel like he doesn't need, like, 30-something women. Like, he needs to really be able to hone in on that relationship because I just feel like that's important.
Yeah, and wouldn't you think overall the pool is probably smaller at that age range?
Yeah, I guess
That's
that is
another
true.
thing I wanted to talk about actually before we move
Oh,
on. Are you thinking the same thing I'm thinking? Because it
yes.
actually made me want to cry inside. I know I'm only 30, but I'm already like having a 30 crisis of being so old. And she is in the limo, Joan, and she's leaving. And she's just like, people just like, when you're young, you matter. And as the older you get, you just like, people don't notice you and you don't matter. Is there a better way of saying? I don't remember the
Yeah,
like
no, I think she said they
exact
don't
terminology.
I wanna say that's even something else, but, like, don't know they just don't you're not what is the word she
Hold on.
used?
I actually saw a meme with it. So let's get it
Okay.
exactly right. Shout out to Two Black Girls, One Rose. It was their meme that they posted. You're invisible as you get older. No one sees you as much as when you were young.
Yeah. Goosebumps,
Just take a
dagger to the
moment.
heart.
It was just like it got real. I just feel like Golden Bachelor has such these like real life moments, and then when
Mhm.
you get to Bachelor in Paradise, it's just like watching SpongeBob or something.
Yes, that is a great comparison, yes.
um, so let's move on to kind of I think the other main topic of the Golden Bachelor. We only got an
Mhm.
hour, but Kathy versus Teresa, and specifically not just Kathy, but what do you remember what her girl gang is called that they with April, Nancy,
Oh, so it's
Chris
8
Jenner? I don't
AFCO?
know, but they have like this like 4-person girl gang group, and it gave Mean Girl vibes for me. What about you? Whose side you're like? I feel like I'm maybe not on the same side as the popular. I don't know. Tell me what you
Yeah,
thought
I don't
about the
really know
whole
either.
Teresa versus Kathy situation.
Okay, so I think the biggest thing was when Kathy and Teresa were in the kitchen and Teresa was talking about her date and how their connection was so great and how one thing specifically that stood out to me was she said something about like, oh yeah, we were talking about traveling, and I was like, let's go, let's just go right now, and like that whole thing. So Kathy took this as her boasting and trying to like kind of almost put down Kathy or the other women, like she has it in the bag,
Mhm.
which I understand. But I feel like these girls are this season with the Golden Bachelor, they are all so close. It seems like they're all just kind of talking and supporting each other. So I think maybe Teresa just didn't realize how she was coming off to Kathy specifically.
I think
Because
she kind of misread the room
yeah, I
and maybe a
agree.
little oblivious. A little
Yes.
mixture of both, maybe.
So then Kathy gets really mad and tries to talk to Teresa. And Teresa's kind of seems like she's being really apologetic. And Kathy's like, no, like,
Oh, she was not having it.
yeah, like it doesn't matter how you feel. This is how you came off. So it doesn't. And so I didn't love that because I
'Cause I
feel
don't think
like
there was
Teresa was
any ill
genuine.
intent. There was
No,
no ill intent from Teresa, and she was
no.
genuinely just realizing what she had done and saying sorry, and then Kathy had already gone to her boyfriend and basically told on her.
Yeah.
What did you think of Gary's reaction? Because that was maybe a tinge of disappointment for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Because he gave Kathy a rose immediately after he talked crap. Even though she didn't say name, but it kind of seemed like he pieced it together.
Yeah, I think he was trying to I think Gary has a very, very soft heart. And I think that was the perfect way to help Kathy feel better because she was having a hard
Mm,
time feeling hurt and upset or whatever. So I think,
yeah.
I mean, I get where Gary came from. And if he likes her that much, then I guess okay. But after that, when Gary went to Teresa, I felt like he maybe needed to ask more questions and really understand versus just take what Kathy said and then connect it with Teresa and then just be like, well, if you don't feel like you were being that way, then just let it go. So
Because
I don't
I think
know.
it turns into kind of more of a bully situation because the person who actually even kind of brought it to Teresa's attention was April. So it's
Yeah.
like kind of several against one.
Yeah.
And I was really thankful for Faith to be with Teresa and kind
Hmm.
of I felt like she could kind of see it from a place of like where we're seeing it of like
Yeah.
no, this is not what's happening at all.
Yeah.
Um so yeah, I was a little I was overall a little bit disappointed and I'm kind of worried now for Teresa. He gave her the rose last. That kind of says
Yeah.
something.
I also was like, okay, Teresa, now that you know Kathy doesn't like this, you
Oh,
gotta quit.
the rose
That's when I was
ceremony.
like, oh no. Right when the rose ceremony ends, Teresa's like grabbing onto Kathy and is like, oh, how did your conversation go? Like da 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 da. And then was like, he came up to the bedroom, which she just meant
It
the
was so
location.
innocent.
She
It was
didn't,
so
but
innocent.
either way, you need to realize that now you
Yeah,
need to literally not talk to Kathy about it. Ever.
I think that was a and or situation of she was also overcompensating for the little awkwardness between them and trying desperately to be like, let's be friends again.
Yeah.
And it did not go well.
No.
And it seems like it keeps going next week. So I'm not excited
Uh,
about that storyline. I just feel I'm bummed about it. But we have history being made at that rose ceremony. Want to know what it is?
yeah.
He did not cry for the first time. First rose ceremony he did not cry at, which I thought was
Oh,
kind of interesting.
I also feel like if I was one of the girls that left, I'd be really upset. Like, you
Right.
didn't
Oh, we
cry for
totally
me?
forgot. I know, right? We totally forgot about Ellen's one-on-one.
Oh, okay, yes.
She had the fairy tale date, the one you get shopping, and Michael Costello was there.
Mhm,
And I like her. I like him. They're
mhm,
cute together, sure.
mhm,
I like the feeling, for example, that I had with him and Joan on their date. I did
mhm.
not get that feeling with Ellen and Gary.
And I also wonder if it's partly, like, she doesn't understand the grief, so they don't get to that as deep of an emotional bond.
Maybe I'm like drawn to trauma bonding.
Yeah, I know, maybe.
I
But,
don't
I
know.
mean, I think that he even said it at the beginning of their date, like, him and Ellen and maybe, I mean, it did progress, but, like, him and Ellen kinda had more of a friendship vibe going, and I kinda see it more as that at the end of the day.
Yeah, but he wouldn't have given her a rose. He said he was looking for romance. So he must
Yeah,
have found romance and they were
yeah,
like kissing and stuff. So I don't
yeah,
know. I'm not as excited about her, but I do think she's probably top two.
yeah.
But I don't know. But I could be wrong. Maybe I'll see more. And the thing, because like in the also the preview, you see them saying that they love each other,
Yeah.
right? So
No,
I
yeah,
mean,
I do see definitely a connection, especially I still go back to him printing out that picture. Like, he had strong feelings from the start, so she definitely has a leg up on the other girls.
totally. Should we go to Bachelor in Paradise now? Any
Let's do it.
final thoughts? All right, let's do it. Bachelor in Paradise, week 3. Let's start with Tyler Norris coming down to the beach.
I'm not like an anti-Tyler Norris person, but did he used to be as big of a douchebag? I thought he was like a little bit more like
I think maybe he's gotten a little bit of a big head from his season with Rachel to now.
uh-huh.
But to be fair, he's gotten a lot hotter.
Yeah, that is true.
So I think it evens out. Like he with the beard and like the
muscle.
muscles and like the tattoo. He has a tattoo, I think. I'm pretty sure I saw one.
Uh-huh.
Yes. But that's where the good part stopped for me with Tyler coming in. He chooses Mercedes to go on the date.
Mm-hmm.
They're on the date. Soon as he says, him and Avon were talking how it would be so cool with Kylie and Mercedes because they are best friends, and Tyler and Avon because they are best friends. You already know how I feel about Kylie and Avon. This was a plan. I
No, I
don't
hate
like
it.
it. I think Bachelor in Paradise has changed a lot. And it's less about just going in and like just meeting everyone and having that kind of organic situation. It's about having a one and a backup, like a 1 and a 2 person on a short list and going in and already kind of having a plan and already I'm annoyed.
It's literally messing it all up. I've already thought this. I'm like, why does this season suck so bad? And why did it not used to suck so bad? Because I used to love Bachelor in Paradise.
Same.
Part of the problem that I don't like is the producers and them choosing when to bring these people out. Because honestly, they should have put all the hot commodities in at once and let them actually figure out who they liked in the like first initial group to then be open to new people, because I do not know, there's no solid couples because they're all waiting for someone else. Like, there's no chance.
Amen. Yep.
So
I
if you're,
agree.
and it's like 100% even more than normal, a popularity contest. And for the people that aren't the like number one on people's list, they're just like sitting there like, okay, I'm just the trash you're hanging out with until the next one comes. And it's not nice.
And I will tell you one thing who's number 1 on my list, and that's Will. And we are talking Joan for Golden Bachelorette. I want Will to be our next bachelor.
Because he has been through the freaking ringer. That poor, I told you I had a weird vibe from Mercedes. I was like,
You're right.
that went from 0 to freaking 100. And even on the effing couch, right before Tyler Norris came out, she's like, oh, I'm glad to have this one and get to know you, like, da-da-da-da. Second Tyler Norris, and these people have absolutely no respect for their, like, it's still kind of a relationship. Why are they not at least saying, like, okay, well, can we go talk? You know, he was really like someone that I was wanting to meet. I feel really bad, but there's like, I don't even feel bad. It's not even like, it's like everybody thinks they're the freaking Bachelor and Bachelorette and they get to date whoever they want and break hearts. And it's like, that's not what this is. This is way more a like, if you're dating one person, even if you've known each other for 2 days, that person is kind of committing to you in a certain extent for that amount of
Invested,
time.
at least.
Yeah, there you go. That's the word. You can't just crap on them.
And think about the people who left Will. First Kylie for Avon and second Mercedes for Tyler, the double date crew.
Yeah. And
They
Mercedes.
Will was used twice for that same single agenda.
Yeah. That's why I think when freaking Kylie and Mercedes were talking, I think they planned it. Like, oh, Will is upset. You should go over there. Like, you guys had a good talk. Just like stay with him because he'll keep you. And tell you.
And that explains when we saw Kylie in mid-interview looking over at Mercedes and Will saying, oh, they're kissing, blah, blah. In like the first or second episode. I don't even know anymore.
I had bad vibes. I tried to shoo them away, but I had bad vibes.
I was wrong.
I don't think they're bad people.
No.
But dude, Mercedes should have at least gone to Will, not freaking guns blazing like that. She was like, I'm so into, you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe the night for the
like
rose.
love bombing.
Obviously, she wanted a rose, and that was the way she went about it. But if she would have gone to Will and being like, I really hate what happened with you and Kylie. Like, it sucks. I know, like, I want you to find love, and I still am really excited to be here and want to find love. And I was just wondering if we could kind of go forward together and kind of see where next week takes us. You know, a little bit more
Yeah,
like,
and maybe even like I did have a good conversation with you. I am interested in getting to know you, but not like,
mm,
oh, I love all this about you. Let's make out. We're a couple, basically.
yeah. And then I also didn't like when Mercedes was back from the Tyler date and didn't cut it off with Will,
Mm-hmm.
even though she knows.
Yeah.
She's like holding him out on a string. And
Well,
Will's
because
probably going to go home.
and it's also because she doesn't want to look like the bad guy. Mercedes is almost worse than Kylie in some ways because I think Kylie was very obvious.
Mm,
Like, I feel like Mercedes is like
playing the game.
trying to like make it look like she's not doing the same thing, and she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. She's not even considering Will, and Will is still like, I'm just gonna give my all to Mercedes tomorrow and like just see what happens. And it's just like,
Yeah, when he should be going and maybe talking to other people.
did you hear that Piper and Brendan broke up? Or was
I
this
did
old
hear about
news?
that.
Because I
It's
heard.
it's old-ish, but it's not like very
Yeah.
old. But
Well,
yeah, I know.
that needed to happen. So
That's also karma.
yeah.
But yeah, it also makes me want to jump the gun of like with our next topic, which is the Kat and Brayden of it all, and how Kylie said how she feels so bad for Brayden.
I know.
Why
It's
don't you
very
feel bad for
interesting.
Will?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yes,
That I think is actually a lot more messy. That
Yeah.
whole part of it. So let's get
Agreed.
into it. Tanner? He would be my number one.
I loved Tanner in Charity season.
I loved him in Charity season. He seems
He's a
like
good
just
guy.
a really genuine and poor. You should come in and you should have he should have chose Jess to go on a date with.
100%.
He should have.
I could see that. Talk about he pulls Jess, right?
Uh-huh.
And the first thing he says, "Oh, I like bathing suits." Like, "Oh yeah, I'm bloated today, so I had to do a one piece." Jess did a TikTok about it, and she was like, "When you have to date sober on TV," and she's like, "Never." She's like, "But the fact that my friends weren't even surprised. This is just how awkward and like say inappropriate things at the wrong time." And I just like it makes me love Jess even more. She's so
Yeah.
likable. That's why I
Mhm.
like wanted that for her because.
Mhm.
I think her and Blake are cute and fun. I think Blake's realizing that she's a prize.
Yeah.
He should have already known.
Yeah.
And I just want that consuming true love story. I like want that big story for her, and I don't think that's with Blake.
I will say I think it could be possible if they get a one-on-one date soon. I think
That could change things.
that could change things because I think when it's like a beginning couple and you couple up and then you guys are just like hanging out all the time, it kind of takes out the romance, and I think they need a little bit of that.
But if one cares enough, just because you don't get a
You could make one.
date, you can
Mhm.
make it. You know that effort,
Yeah.
and I don't see that effort.
Yeah, I
That
agree.
we've
And
seen,
do
at
they
least.
even kiss? Not that it
Not that
matters,
I've
but I've
seen.
never seen. Well,
They,
wait,
like,
they kissed the
cuddle.
first episode.
Okay, I'm going
No,
back.
I know what you're gonna say. Literally all the couples sitting on the beach, freaking on chairs together cuddling, and then Will just terrible.
If I wasn't married, I'd go to the beach for you, Will. I love him. I think he's just the sweetest freaking guy in the entire planet.
He really is.
He's had
But
a rough.
there's something I think a lot of girls just have the issue of the like needs someone that's got a little like edge or something, which I'm
He's
not
only
even sure that
green
Avon
flag.
does, but still, yeah.
Yeah, they are just. I'm gonna say it. There is a classification process or like thing, and Hannah Brown is the Taylor Swift or the A team. Then we've got the B, and then the C and the D. That's kind of how I categorize them. And we might even have an E with Sam just because no one knew who she was.
Yeah.
And Will is a C or a D.
Yeah.
And Avon and Tyler are Bs.
Yeah.
And
it's
that's just the way it is.
Yeah,
That's
it's
just the way it
stupid
is.
because it's nothing about their personalities or
Yeah.
anything like that. It's just the fact that they stayed longer in their season and more people care about them. And so you want what you like, not you can't have, but kind of like you want what you can't have.
Yeah, they've got a little bit more of that celebrity vibe, like it's Tyler and Avon versus I don't know who Will was before Bachelor in Paradise.
Yeah, like if I end up with this person, then we're gonna make money, probably too.
We're being really hard on the double daters, but I'm sorry, we're annoyed. We
Yeah.
think you're good people still at your core, but we can be
Yeah.
annoyed by you.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, so let's
so
get
yes.
more into Tanner and Kat. So Tanner comes down, talks with people, ends up choosing Kat. Kat literally just, yep, goes and gets dressed, comes back down, literally walks right up by Brayden. And Brayden's like, oh, you look good. Oh, thanks. Walks past him. Doesn't even say one freaking word. Like they were nothing. That is when I'm like, Kat, I'm not a Kat fan. I can't be after that. I think that's soulless, truly. I don't know what she thinks she did, but she just did not do that correctly at all. Because they were the most, like, they were like all over each other all the time. Brayden had every reason to think that, I mean, okay, I don't want to get ahead of myself. He had most reason to think that there was a real connection there. Yes, Kat did say like this and this and that about waiting for other people to come down. But
During
at
the
the same,
bonfire.
yes, but at the same time, she shouldn't have acted so all in on him then, if that really was the case. I think she was
Yeah.
misleading.
One thing I kind of noticed when she was talking to is that like he should have known from the body language, like he should have known from how she. So it's kind of almost like her hoping that he could read her mind. I think a little bit, and I think that's maybe a problem a lot of girls have. I know at least I have. I expect Marcus to read my mind, and if he doesn't, I'm mad at him.
Yeah.
So like I get it to a certain extent with that. Like just use common sense. I like was trying to kind of keep it at arm's length, maybe you at body language wise or any other
Keep it at
way.
arm's length?
No, I don't mean physically. I just mean like I don't know. She said she felt like she was giving him like signs for him to like play off of being like, oh, maybe she's blah blah blah. But
yeah,
I digress. I was a full Kat fan before this because, like, with the sneak preview of Brayden calling himself a dirty whore, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna just play devil's advocate with Kat because they have been hanging out for 1 week, and yes, he was all in, but I think he didn't want to see the signs, or maybe even her like saying what she said at the bonfire about being interested in potentially other people coming down. I think his mind was closed and was just like Kat, 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 and even ignoring potential signs.
Okay.
And even vocalized signs as well. And so that part of her actually going on the date and going with Tanner, like I don't think there's anything wrong with that and her now wanting to be with Tanner. What I didn't like is that kind of flip switch. I get what he was saying with just like hot to cold. And that breakup was like, she did like, I don't think she's realizing she's doing it. And maybe this could be kind of a growth process. I've never broken up with anyone. So I don't know how people handle that in different situations, especially on TV. You've only, in like the real world, if you're just kind of hanging out for a week, you don't really owe that person anything. So I don't know. I don't see it as much as black and white. And I think the second conversation with Brayden and Kat, where he calls himself a dirty whore, so I have to keep saying it because I just think it's the funniest thing in the entire planet. She was very defensive, and I think she was almost like she was one defensive, but she was saying he was the one defensive, and they could not communicate. And I think communication is a real issue with her. And I think Tanner is so not about the drama. And whether it was going to come out with Kat anyway, or this brought it out just really quick and faster, I do not have any hope for her and Tanner, especially with John Henry coming next week, especially with that secret box that coming next week that everyone attacks Kat when we saw in the sneak preview. So I don't know if I collected all my thoughts into one or if what I just said made sense, but those are my thoughts on it.
Yeah. I think I agree with you mostly. I just think two biggest things she did wrong. Not have a conversation with him before she went on the date. And like the way she acted in that whole interaction to me was just like in that moment.
He like disappeared in her head.
Yeah.
As soon as Tanner walked on
the
the
date. And that's not fair. No matter what she felt, she knew how he felt. And I think that she just completely disregarded his feelings.
No, you're right.
And
you're right.
You forgot a very important part of this, which makes me just like Kat more. Her and Jess are very close.
Oh.
Tanner is Jess's number one. I thought that was super rude. And like, Brayden can say whatever he wants. She broke up with him. He can say whatever she wants, and she
Yeah, they're
needs
his
to,
friends.
yeah, and she just needs to just be like, he's upset and be understanding of that. But for her to come up, continue to act like absolutely nothing is wrong, she should at least be like, I'm sorry. She should feel some sort of feeling like, I'm sorry I hurt you. Comes up all whatever. And the girls are like, okay, like, come on, Kat, you need to realize that you are being hurtful. And instead of just taking that as a moment of growth or just being like, yeah, you guys are right, I just need to like, let's just let this play out, whatever. She then goes back to the person she already dumped and hurt to basically stomp on his broken heart.
Yeah,
I
and
don't,
basically say your feelings don't matter.
yeah. And it's like, and I actually almost liked Brayden more in that conversation because he was just like, I can feel how I feel.
Yeah,
And
no,
and
right.
she just needed to stop. Like,
Because I think that's just also the way she is. Because it wasn't just with Brayden how defensive she was. She was really defensive with Kylie and Jess as well.
and in
And
her season with
and in her
Charity.
season, she's just quick to like react like that. And Jess even said she's like a very one track mind. So
Mhm,
when she had Tanner, that's like all she could see. And I think she's a little bit oblivious to the other
mhm,
things happening around her and other people.
yeah.
So it's definitely, I'm hoping she like is watching this back as kind of like a learning thing because there's just many different ways. We all can better ourselves in different
Oh,
ways.
yeah.
And I
I wouldn't
think
wanna see myself on national television in a dating
exactly.
environment.
So I
I
just
only
there's
judging
part
to a
of me that
certain
feels
extent.
for her, but there's just she just really needs to work on her communication skills. I think that's like the number one, and not being so quick to that defensive mode. Because I
Yeah,
think
like,
that kind of just puts like, does it matter if you're right or wrong in the beginning at that point?
mhm,
How she handles it after the fact kind of
yeah.
erases that. I don't
Well,
know.
yeah, and also, like, I think her biggest thing is she's just so worried about what other people think about her.
Yeah,
And
fair.
again, I would probably feel that way if I was on TV too, because you don't want it to be misconstrued, so you're trying to, like,
Yeah,
fix it, but at the same time, like,
it did her
it did the
dirty.
opposite. And yeah, I do hope she's watching it and just kinda, like, sees that and doesn't, again, get more defensive and then we get
But
worse.
I mean, I don't think we've seen the last of was it controversial cat moments.
Alright, well,
So
here
I
we
think
go.
we've got a lot coming this season. Is there anything? Okay. I think the last main thing that took about half of the 2 hour episode. So we watched about an hour of talking about poop babies.
I have to say that okay, like, whatever if that because you said this, Bachelor in Paradise is just too far. Way too
Uh,
far. I'm sorry,
the amount of screen time that turtle got of a head coming out of the shell that's
the
supposed to
first
look
time I
like poop
saw it, I was
coming out of
already
a butthole.
disgusted.
No, I know. It's like, please, not the turtle. I don't want to
Yeah,
see a turtle for the rest of my life. Turtles are all together now ruined for me. And I used to love turtles. I used to have a turtle in my third grade class, and his name was Harry Potter. And I might not be able to watch Harry Potter again too. So turtles and Harry Potter are both ruined for me.
yeah, that is just not okay. That doctor was not real.
That's another thing. I was like, that guy's a paid actor.
No, I hated it. That made it even worse for me because I'm like, you guys are literally like, do you guys think this is the biggest thing I want to say to Bachelor in Paradise? Do you guys think we're stupid? Like, do you
Yes, I think
actually
you do.
think that? Because you're doing it wrong. At least be good at tricking me into thinking like, oh, this is a doctor saying a poop, like a poop baby. Deliver a poop baby. Yeah. What are they gonna do? Cut open your butthole and pull it out? No. Sorry,
I would
graphic, but no.
have I would have to say that my favorite part, one of my favorite parts about the poop baby, because there wasn't many, is Olivia's reaction and her commentary and her interviews were so freak. I love Olivia. If Olivia has one fan, I am hers. If Olivia has a million friends, I'm also her. What is that saying? I don't know, but that's me and Olivia. I think she's so funny.
Mhm.
Um,
No, she is definitely one that like. At first, I was unsure because of the drama or whatever, but now, anytime she has an opinion about stuff, they always show her, and I'm like, yes, you are me, and I am you.
yeah, and that is why those type of characters or people are the why I watch
Yeah.
Bachelor in Paradise. I think it's supposed to be fun and seeing other people's personalities and like
Mhm.
falling in love with these people as individuals, not just couples.
Mhm.
100%. And I do have to say, I really like Sam and Aaron.
Yeah.
I think they're really cute. I think he handled it very maturely and was like really sweet with her. Cause that is like, could you imagine? I would be so
Mortified.
you show up for a second on Clayton's season and you're like, I'm gonna make my big TV return, I'm gonna have a love story, and now you're known for a poop baby for the rest of your life.
Not your poop baby. It's our poop baby.
I thought they were cute.
A big disappointment that I'm hoping something happens. Rachel.
I'm
Do you
so
think
disappointed.
this is a moment where Rachel is going to hop to Brayden? Because I think I see them kissing at one point.
Maybe. So Brayden, and then we do see her kissing Jordan V at some point.
Yeah.
She has a
I know
one-on-one.
I know that. Her and Sean are just kind of a bummer to me.
So
and I don't dislike Sean, honestly. I don't mind him. But that couple is just a no. And Rachel, I need to see her more. Like, I need her in my life.
Yep, I agree. Yep. And I think Rachel's so far been done wrong by Bachelor in Paradise. I think she should have had a grand entrance. She should have been the first one on the beach. They should have made... She's like she's not up there with Hannah Brown, but she's like in that same realm. Mm-hmm. And I feel like
they didn't give her any guys at first. Like, none. They had to have put some hot commodity guys on the first. Like, they did the girls, but not the guys. That's like literally asking all these guys to just get their hearts crushed. It's not like, it wasn't fair. I didn't like the start.
Yeah, mm-hmm. There's just been some bad choices. And like, it's like, do I not like the Bachelor in Paradise season because of all the things that we've talked about? Or is it compared to Golden Bachelor? We're realizing the trash that it is.
That is true.
So
I don't know.
Something to have everyone think about till next week on Golden Bachelor and Bachelor in Paradise.
See you then.
Thank you so much for listening / watching. And we will have new recaps for Bachelor in Paradise, Golden Bachelor every Monday.
Our podcast is available wherever you listen, and make sure to follow us on YouTube and hit the little bell notification to be the first to see all of our new episodes.
Also follow us on social media, Instagram, TikTok. We post Bachelor news, opinions, reality, pop culture, definitely some Taylor Swift thrown in there. So be sure to follow us at Stop Wearing My Clothes Pod.
See you next time.